Welcome back to the Transform Your Mind to Transform Your Life, the podcast. You're listening to Author's Corner, where we highlight and showcase our local authors. Today, I'm speaking to Adam Elnekaveh, author of Rebuilding Adam, the Tragedy. And Adam and I are going to be talking on the topic, Lessons on Rebuilding After a Tragedy. Welcome, Adam.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. All right, well, let me give you a brief description of Adam's book. Rebuilding Adam, the Tragedy is a poignant and deeply personal memoir that dives into the life-altering journey of Adam Elnekaveh, a prominent fitness influencer whose world is shattered by a catastrophic, I can never say that word, motorcycle accident. In this gripping narrative, drawn from Adam's personal journey, readers are thrust into the heart of his high-rate ordeal as he grapples with the devastating aftermath of an accident that nearly claims his life. Once celebrated for his progress as a bodybuilder, Adam finds himself confronting a stark and uncertain future, as medical experts often offer grim prognosis of death or permanent vegetative state. Through the raw honesty of his reflections, Adam invites readers to bear witness to his struggle to reclaim the most fundamental aspects of his humanity. As the pages unfold, Adam's resilience becomes the focal point of his story as he embarks on a courageous journey towards recovery from the painstaking efforts to regain speech and mobility to the complexities of navigating paralysis and personal relationships. Adam's narrative is a testament to the power of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming adversity. Wow, Adam. Yeah. Motorcycles, I see them on the highway and I just pray for them because I know that if they get a spill, if they get hit, then it is catastrophic. So briefly, I know that your book synopsis lays out the story, but introduce us to what happened on that fateful day.
So I was working for the past few years to develop an app that was a fitness app. And I had a team in San Diego, California, and Pakistan, and also in India. They were helping me launch this thing. It was my business that I was so excited for. My best friend from high school just graduated business university, and we were just talking, and we said, we should celebrate, both of us. I'm launching my business. You're about to embark on your business. We should celebrate. And we decided on going to Thailand to celebrate and be in the ocean and just have fun. I never been on an international trip with a friend, ever. So this is my first time, so I'm extra excited. So we're having a great time. A few days into our trip, we're having a great time. We're on an island now, named Phuket. So it's a little sandy beach island. We're having fun, and then after a couple of days, I wanted us to get a couple of motorcycles just to see the island more. So as we're on our motorcycles, we stop by, we get some lunch, we walk right across the street, which is about maybe 7 feet wide, connected by sand. And we go to the water, to the ocean. We start wrestling, having fun. Then as we walk to our bikes, we start to notice that first of all, we're all wet. It's humid, we're all wet. And as we're walking to our motorcycles, we see a lot of locals in Thailand don't wear helmets. Yes, I know. Trust me. We see a lot of them not wearing helmets. So many of them. So I said to my friend, let's mimic the locals. Wow. I know. I'm 28 years old. I'm sorry. I apologize. We get on our bikes. We start riding. I had experience with 2 motorcycles before that, so I'm an experienced rider, so to speak. My friend, none. First time I taught him. I actually still have the video on my phone where he's practicing on the streets of Thailand. So we get on our bikes, we start riding. Suddenly, we get stopped by two police officers. They give us tickets for not wearing helmets. So we pay our ticket fines, $14, $13. So that amount of money meant nothing to us. We get back on our bikes. We see a few more people riding with no helmets again. I look at my friend and I go, we got nothing to worry about, man. There's no more cops. We're going to be just fine. We get on our bikes. We take out our bikes. We keep riding. He stops. He looks at me and says, no, I think my bike is having issues. I go, what are you talking about? He's like, I have mechanical braking. I don't quite remember. I put him down. I go, you just don't know what you're doing, dude. I'll handle it. I'll get your bike. I hop on his bike. I ride. I go through a few turns. Seems okay. This is the worst part. Egotistically, I start teasing my friend. Teasing him, like, this bike is fine. You don't know what you're doing. I got you. Watch this. I keep riding. I get further and further from him. Further and further. Built up with angst of the motorcycle tickets. My friend is here with me. I'm throwing him around. Now we got stopped by cops. The whole thing. I accelerate more and more. Suddenly, he rides up, sees me on the floor, doesn't know what happened, what hit me, what slipped, what happened, nothing at all. He approaches me. I'm lying down in a lake of blood. I have a big broken skull. He sees me a pool of blood. My brain is exposed. Oil from the motorcycle shot up my brain. I fell into a coma. And that's how the story begins.
Well, like
That's the first 3 pages of my
you're
book.
saying, it sounds like you have no memory of the accident.
None for the next 3 months.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So you still don't know how it happened.
There's no cameras in Thailand. Yeah, we don't know.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh my God. Yes, this is wow. And that's bad on so many levels. You're on vacation, your brain is exposed, wow, no insurance because you're on vacation. Wow. So yeah,
They were holding
I'm
my passport. Yeah.
I am assuming that you laid it all in your book. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you because I think this is a excellent story on resilience. So all right, so take us to the mindset that when you were aware what happened to you. I mean, you said you were in a coma. So when you came out of this coma and someone told you what had happened to you, what was the mindset? What is the first thing you said? Because you also said in the bio of the book that people were telling you that the medical experts were telling you you're going to be permanently vegetative and you can die and things like that. So what did you say to yourself?
I get asked this question a lot. I had a severe brain injury. When you have a severe brain injury, you go back to being 1 year old again. Then you're 3 years old. Then you're 5. Then you're 7. Then you're 13. Then you're 15. And it just goes on and on. I played basketball all my life, so I love stats. So in my book, every single chapter that starts, it says you 5 key facts. My attainments, like what I achieved, whether it's my driver license, walking, the test, whatever. My age, cognitively, my mental age, my percentage ability to use my left arm, the left side of my body, my left leg, and lastly, sources, which is the people that help me remember to tell the story. So the first 35% of this book is used with sources from my parents, my friends, my rehab specialist, my nurses, my doctors, and just anyone that was in my life at this point, my aunt, everyone. So
Yeah.
Nothing, nothing. So people always ask me,
Now,
what? Sorry,
do you remember it now?
I remember specs,
Okay.
but now as I think further into my recovery, like being able to walk again, being able to, drive and live alone and be responsible, it starts to come back. And the number one thing that I would say to anyone is the first reason is why I'm writing this, why I'm doing this, because I met so many people with so many various types of injuries, you know, breaking your arm, breaking your leg, having a spinal issue, a stroke, a TBI, a traumatic brain injury like I had, any sort of injury, diseases, anything. And nowadays, when people get hurt, emotionally, physically, they feel they have this self-doubt about themselves. Like, can I ever live again? Does anybody want me? Can I ever have a girlfriend, a wife, a husband? Can I get a job? Can I drive? Can I be responsible to feed myself, to take care of myself? And in my book, I explain my self-doubts, me trying to overcome it, me going, I'm a single guy in the book. I'm 28 years old. So I can go to bars or movie theaters or anything to like meet new friends, a possible girlfriend. So I explain how I use areas like the grocery store to meet new friends because I have a cane at this point, but at the grocery store, I figured that I use my cart, my
Wait,
grocery cart
this might wait,
yeah, as my tool,
wait.
and I have very bad memory issues. And so for people that have strokes and, any type of injuries, concussions, whatever, or just plainly get nervous in front of someone else. So on the baby seat in front of my grocery cart, I had a little note card, like reminders of what to say, like, hey, how are you doing? Oh, you look great. What time is it close? This is all listed in my book, like word for word.
Wow.
Um, and also, yeah, and things like me getting interrogated by the DMV. The DMV does not want you to drive again, especially after a brain injury, a concussion, a stroke, even a broken arm or leg that's very damaging. They don't want you to drive. So I have the interrogative conversation in a room with the DMV. I show every question, hysterical questions. This is the number one question I'll never forget. They said, if someone honks at you or cuts you off in traffic, would you run them over? Would you hurt them? Would you get, like, they asked me, saying, so I explained in my book how I responded, why they respond like that. And it was able for me to get a car, and also after I get my first job working at a call center at a shoe company. So I explained how I wrote certain notes to help me remember how to respond. And it talks about my rehab, and it talks about my physical therapy and how I dug into myself to learn that, to look at things as, I'm not a rocket ship. You're not a rocket ship. Someone else recovering. Don't think of yourself as a rocket ship. You're not going to space in one day. You're not going to the moon in 1 or 2 days. Think of yourself as a car coasting along the freeway. Nice and easy. Second by second. Take your time. See the view. Absorb everything. Appreciate life. Be humble. Because you'll never know how quickly life can flip on you. Because I was the guy at the gym that was bench pressing 300 pounds. And then I was the guy, in a helmet, in a cane at the gym, unable to lift 1 pound. So that's the whole story, basically.
Well, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, so eloquently and so emotional because we can tap into the emotion of your words. But what I wanted to know, which was the question I asked, is what is the mindset that allowed you to persevere and be resilient. What did you tell yourself? I mean, you explained just now how you thought of using the cart in the grocery store and leaving notes for yourself so that you can have a conversation with someone. I mean, most people wouldn't go to that lengths in their recovery unless they had this rebuilding mindset. And I love the way your name of your book, it's rebuilding. So what did you tell yourself? So, you talk about all these people that have all these injuries. What is it that you want to share with them of the mindset that allows them not to give up and just go in a wheelchair? But you could have done that. Just go in a wheelchair and press the button.
My biggest motivation was I did not accept what was said. And that's what I tell everyone. They said to me, I would never walk. I would never drive. I would never live alone. I would never be able to work, never be able to live. Now I'm traveling. I'm doing everything that I want to do because I just am not going to accept that one stupid decision that I made is going to, or disease, whatever, is going to define my life. Yes. I'm going to do what, I wish there was a word that I know that for growling. I growled with anger. No, I'm going to meet friends. I'm going to travel the world. I'm going to have a girlfriend. I'm going to do, yeah, I mean,
yes,
yeah, I mean, my whole book shows it really invites you to my world, which is in my head. Right. The world out here is, but my book tells you my thoughts, my disregardment, I want to live. You have to snarl to want to live. You have to want it, desire it. Like you probably read in your audience, maybe you have seen many videos of very ambitious and successful people, and they all say that I was going to get this done. Nothing was going to stop me. If I were to pour all of my money, all of my finances, everything in, I didn't care because this is what I wanted. And that was the same thing with me. I was going to give every single ounce of my effort. Now, I am a normal person. I hate rehab more than anyone. I hate school. I don't like doing things that I don't enjoy doing. I like to do things that I enjoy. But I knew that if I was going to achieve something, anything, I have to cross my T's and dot my I's. I had to follow it. You got to do the hard things.
Hard to do. But I like what you say, because the power of intention is the energy of the universe. The power of intention. And once you have an intention, we can interchange it with desire, because you also said the desire. If you have the desire and you have the will and you do the action, right, you're going to get out to the other side. You can't just have the desire and sit in a wheelchair, but you did the things that the actions to go with the desire. And I'm glad, because you said you had to be grilled by the DMV in order to get a driver's license. But even if you had to go back 4 times, I don't know how many times you did, but if you had to go back 4 or 5 times, you would keep going until you get it, because you refuse to give up. You refuse to be dependent on other people. You refuse. And it's the mindset, which is how I started off this conversation, because I know that it's a mindset. It is resilience, and it's never given up. And look at it. You've done it. So congratulations. I'm glad that you're sharing, because, we never want this kind of testimony, but God does give us a testimony. You can have a testimony. We don't go asking for these horrible things to happen to us so that we can encourage others, but it happens to be the end result of it. You know what I mean? And now you're in a position to encourage someone that, hey, is on their back in a wheelchair, because people have accidents all the time.
all the
accidents
time.
all the time. You hope it doesn't happen to you, but it happens all the time. There's people that are afraid of flying, and they're saying that flying is one of the safest things because you go in a car, you go on a highway, and you never know. You can never come back because look at all the accidents that happen. So, yes, and you don't want it to happen to you. But if it does, I'm glad that you took control and you said, you know what? I am going to have these things. I love it. You put the girlfriend right out there. I'm going to have a girlfriend. I'm going to work.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm going to live by myself. It's, fundamentals. I love it. So,
yeah.
you list a whole bunch of things that you had to do, but which one of those was the most challenging? Which one of the most you hated the most?
And that's a good question. The hardest was not feeling overwhelmed because it's funny when you have a brain injury, you have to think of a million things with your body and your mind to get from point A to point B, let's say, or to do point A to point B. So the best thing that I take every day is that I have to honor Nike for having this name with this phrase of just do it. And it's a wonderful freaking phrase that I am so sad that it's taken by them. But it's just the most because the first thing for being overwhelmed is thinking. No, 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 thinking. No, this could happen. No, no, flying. No, 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 driving. No. So many things. And me, I was so overwhelmed. How can I ever travel again? I can't lift both my arms up. How am I going to get through TSA at the airport? I can't sit in a chair. This was earlier in my recovery. I can't sit in a chair for more than 20 minutes. How am I going to get on an airplane, in a car? How am I going to do this? I can't shower by myself. I can't. I'll slip. No. What I learned to do is, family is great. Of course, family saved me. Friends saved me. Friends are amazing. You can learn from them. You know, be reliant on them, have them by your side. But at the end of the day, that you, this is your life. The blood in your veins belong to you. Your heart belongs to you. You are the last person to make a decision. So don't overthink. Don't feel overwhelmed. Just do it. You want something, just do it. If, what's the worst that can happen? Are you gonna go to jail? Are you gonna die? No. Most of the time, no.
Crying until you get it. Yes.
Exactly. So when you see a beautiful girl or a beautiful man and you want to approach them or you want a job or you want to raise at your job, just do it. Just ask, just talk, just smile. You never know what could happen because if you don't do it, I'll tell you this, if you don't do it, you automatically get the answer, which is no.
No.
Automatically.
Yeah.
No, I can't fly. No, I can't drive. No, I can't sit. No, I can't talk to that guy or that girl. No, don't. Just do it. Just go. Just smile.
Yes. But Adam, I think I would like to read your book because it sounds, I love hearing great stories. I love hearing perseverance. I love hearing resilience. I love reading about mindset. Yes. And wow, I think this is a very good read. So tell our listeners where they can pick up a copy of your book, if you have a website, if you're in
Yes.
social media.
Yeah. My social media has a lot of great things. I'm publicly speaking, like motivating, like I'm doing now with you. And now I'm actually interviewing people on the street. Just stop random people and ask them questions. It's pretty fun to see their sides of stories. So my Instagram is Adam Rose Vision, AdamRoseVision. My website is strive2defy.com. Strive, STRIVE, to defy, DEFY.com. My book number one is called Rebuilding Adam, the Tragedy. It's on Amazon, Ingram Sparks, Barnes and Nobles. Amazon is the best. And book number 2 is just getting finished right now, and it's called Rebuilding Adam: The Awakening. Actually, I've not said that to anyone yet, but here first. So you're the first just to announce it. This just got done 3 days ago, literally. So yeah, Amazon and my Instagram has everything, Adam Rose Vision, my website. So yeah, that's where you get all the information from.
That's beautiful. I love that. Yes, you can come back on and talk about your second book. But my very first book was called Becoming Conscious: My Awakening. So hey, we got a parallel there.
I love that. I love
But
that.
I'm assuming that the awakening part of this book is about your spiritual awakening, right? Yes.
It is in learning others too. Like my second book, the first book is more about me, like
Mhm.
recovering. My second book is me learning other people that you would never guess that recover over their own fast and what I learned from it and how it's all interconnected.
You leaked it.
So
Yes.
that, yeah.
I love it. Great title. Awesome. Well, listen, Adam, I am very impressed by what you've done with your life, and very impressed what you've accomplished and what you're going to be accomplished. God, you know, uh, chooses the people that he makes to be spokespersons. And when you come from the way where you came from, and then when people see where you're going or where you've been, it must inspire, it must motivate. So I'm glad that you're accepting that mantle, and going out there and motivating and inspiring people, and you're becoming a better human as you go along, which is why you have a book about the year awakening. So yes, I enjoyed our conversation. Like I said, I'll pick up your book because I definitely want to read your story in detail. All right, guys. Well, listen, the book again is called Rebuilding Adam, the Tragedy. And you can definitely follow Adam to know when his second book is going to be published. And I will link out to his website and his social media handles on the show page, which is myhelp.us. I would also have a transcript of my conversation with Adam on the show page. So yes, definitely be inspired, be encouraged, especially if you've had tragedy in your life, or someone that has had tragedy in your life, because a lot of things that we learn, we can teach, right? That's what I do here. I learn things, I teach it. So yes, you learn from Adam, and maybe you can help someone in your life about, how he approached it and how he managed to succeed at rebuilding himself. Love it. All right, Adam, as we wrap up, any last words?
No, just thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. And book 2 is going to be really great.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. But well, thank you for being on the show as well, and for sharing your story. I love it. All right, guys. Well, listen, thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Author's Corner. Pick up Adam's book, Rebuilding Adam, the Tragedy. Learn something, be motivated, be inspired, and also follow him. Thank you very much for tuning in. Until next time, namaste.